You know a place is good when it's standing room only to get in there and the door has to be kind of propped open because there are so many people who are waiting in line. Well, this bakery is doing something very different. They're saying no to tipping. That's right, no tips. Instead, they're raising all prices about 11%.
I think it is good for customers to avoid that unpleasant uncertainty. Should I be tipping? How much is appropriate? We want to take that burden off of our customers.
So here's my question. Would you be happy to see the tip line on the check, the tip jar at the register, or the screen prompt for tipping to just go away? These three are all very common. You can hardly go anywhere and buy anything without being asked to tip. So would you rather be bothered with the tip and pay a higher price, or not bothered, or what?
Maybe it takes away from the how much should I tip thing. You know what I mean? Like, should I tip this amount, this amount? It takes that stress away, so to say.
I mean, raise the price if you want. I can't stand being asked to tip every single place all the time.
Right. And I do think that there is some tip fatigue going on, right? There's been a recent survey done by Talker Research. They asked about 2,000 Americans about tipping in general. And according to the people they polled, they spend nearly $500 a year tipping more than they would like. The average person who was polled said they reluctantly tip an extra $37.50 a month. Those who answered said they tipped more than they like on 6 occasions in the last 30 days alone. Have you experienced this thing called tipping guilt?
Absolutely.
I definitely have many times. I think more recently it was kind of in the drive-through lane. I mean, that was different because usually you would tip, you know, when you're in person and then you're being served, or when you're maybe at a coffee shop and you're having that face-to-face interaction. But I did feel it going through a drive-through one time.
Okay.
My biggest dilemma is when the cashier recognizes me.
And they're like, oh,
yeah.
would you like to tip?
Yes.
And you're like, no, I would not.
Because
Yeah.
you have to, right? Because people are going to talk. They're going to say, you know what? That Chad Silber from News 2 came in here and didn't even
Or they'll
give
be
me
talking
a
about
tip.
something completely different. And then they say, that news too. I remember that
Right.
Chad Silver that one time.
And it's interesting because according to this same survey, not all generations feel the same amount of guilt. So Gen X and boomers feel a whole lot less guilt or pressure to tip, whereas Gen Z and millennials, they do feel more guilt to tip. I'm just, okay. So here's my thought. Do you see a difference in how you tip versus how your parents tip versus how maybe your grandparents tipped?
I think that I probably tip more, but I think part of that is because I used to work in the service industry where none of them did.
Okay. All right.
I don't know if I've seen it. I don't think I've paid attention to that too much to know if I've seen a difference in that.
And whether they feel that or they say
Right.
that. So, and I want to know, do you use a tip calculator app thingy, or do you do it in your head, or what do you do?
I do use a tip calculator. I have an app and everything. Sometimes I do. I don't use it all the time, but sometimes I do.
Okay.
I just do it in my head, but I think it's because I was in the service industry,
Right.
so I knew how to do that. You know, one thing I saw on social media the other day that was interesting, a guy posted and said, if I am not sitting down, do not expect a tip.
Okay. That's his rule.
Yeah.
Well, happy tipping or happy not tipping, everyone. We'll see you.